Hello, what is poppin' YouTube fam? This is JMU, where in this class, we're cooking up something new. Cooking up something new we shall. We got, we're gonna go back in time, right? We're gonna go back to what started the change for me, right? I have two stories. These are gonna be two separate videos, right? So, it all started back in 2018. I was still that white knight, blue pilled, naive self, right? That didn't really have a clue, that always give women the benefit of the doubt, and all of that good stuff, right? So, when I was in Colorado, I was working a night-based downtown driving job. My job was to be the truck driver that would drive a pickup truck throughout downtown Denver, and everyone else, because I had a crew with me, would replace the trash cans that were full, like on the corners. They would take those out, tie them up, throw them in the back of the truck and then replace those with new bags. And we would do that throughout the middle of the night, right? These people were ex-cons, right, felons and whatnot. So they couldn't have their license. So I was one of two people that were able to drive, right? So during this time, there was one woman, right? One particular woman that was in the shift after mine, right? That I would see from time to time. Now, this particular woman, one of the crewmen told me about her and told me how easy she was, right? Saying, yeah, you can definitely hit that, right? Because I still only had one or two sexual partners at that time. And, you know, I approached her extremely nervously, by the way. Now, this woman was a little bit older, right? She was in her 50s, I think. And what I did not know is, I did not know that was the boss's sister. So, I give this woman a ride home. And I drop her off. But while I dropped her off, you know, she knew what I wanted. And she stuck around. And I was shaking, man. I'm telling you, my nerves were just going off because it's been like 4 or 5 years since I've had any at this point. Yeah, I was 19 and when I had some for the first time, and then 24. Yeah, I was 24 when this happened. So it's been 5 years, right? So she essentially just guides me and just like has, you know, we do our thing, right? In the back of the van or whatnot at a park, and then I dropped her off home, right? Now, this sets the tone, right? This sets the pace, right? So every now and then I would hook up with this girl, you know, but it never happened every single time, right? Now, keep in mind, this woman has kids that were similar to my age, right? I was 24. She had kids that were in high school, almost graduated, right? Sometimes she would bring me up to her crib and kick out her kids for like an hour. And the looks that they gave me and the looks I gave them, it was just because we was both awkward, because it's like we're closer to, I'm closer to the kids' age than I am her age, and the kids aren't stupid, right? They knew what was going on. But something felt off, right? It's not that something was off, but from the things that the crewmen were telling me about her, right? The things that she was willing to do, the things that they did with her, I could never get that out of her, right? She just kind of laid there, you know, just kind of just laid on her back and was just almost like starfish and just doing shit like that, right? But I couldn't get all the other stuff. Like I couldn't get doggy. I couldn't get her to bend over. I couldn't do none of that, right? And when I would go to the crewman and tell them about this kind of stuff, he was like, bro, man, like she's one of the biggest fucking hoes. Like this bitch like dead near, she asked us to to stick it up her, you know, their back door and all that stuff, right? But I can never get that stuff out of her, right? And this is, I never could understand it then, but like going back now, like this is where, like the more I interacted with her and the more excuses I got from her, and sometimes I would start dropping off 2, 3 times, 4 times in a row before getting any, and I'll get like some sort of excuse or whatever, and sometimes I would start getting blown off and whatnot, right? But it just wasn't lining up with what these guys were telling me, right? And these guys, man, these guys, one of them is an actual pimp. I don't know if he still is now, but yeah, one of them was an actual fucking pimp. And I think the more I was getting excuses from her, like I think this started, I started finally waking up to at least one thing, right? That women will do things for alphas, right? Will do extra things for perceived alphas, and for those that they consider less than, they will make all kinds of excuses for, right? So one of the biggest, most important lessons I've learned was that if she is into you enough, right? If you are, I guess, I can't say the word alpha, but like if she sees you as enough of a man, she's willing to do just about anything, right? So if you as a man are finding a woman giving you bare minimum in the sack, making all these excuses like, oh, I don't want to give head because I don't want you to see me that way, and that's all bullshit, right? She's just not that into you. She's not that attracted to you, because best believe there was some other guy from her past that she was more than happy and more than willing to do all of that stuff with, and enthusiastically, probably did it unprompted, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So if you're not getting all this unprompted king treatment from her, then that should just let you know off rip that you ain't it, right? And this was like a slow realization for me, because for the longest time I could never understand how I'm hearing these stories from these people, but when it's my turn, I couldn't get this out of her to save my life, right? And you know, and I can admit it, I was too fucking nice, and this, that, and the third. I probably wasn't enough of a bad boy or whatever the hell you want to call it, but this was the first instance where I started to really wear the blinders, right? The rose-colored glasses slowly started coming off, right? This is where I realized that women will do different things for different guys, right? I always thought that if a woman is capable of doing certain things, like she would do it with every single person, right? But I learned, that was the first time I learned that that is not true. Just because a woman has, let's say, given head in the past, doesn't mean that she's willing to give you head, even if you're sleeping with her, this, that, and the third. And this is one of the first lessons that I learned, where how much a woman is willing to do with you and do for you is solely tied to how she feels about you, right? If her attraction to you is like here, then guess what? The stuff she's willing to do is also here. But if her attraction for you is very high, then guess what? The sky's the limit. So that was lesson number 1 for me. I will go into lesson number 2 in the next video. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys learned something here. So again, for you guys that date and all that, don't take the excuses from women, right? Don't accept the excuses that they give, because best believe there is a guy out there where they made no excuses for, and she was more than willing to accommodate him and all that other stuff. That is still in her. It just takes the right man to bring it out, right? And if you're not bringing it out, you're not the right man. And therefore, you need to question yourself. If I'm not that guy to where you're not doing these things, you're not willing, like, why are you really here, right? Am I the safe guy? Nobody wants to be the safe guy. You know, don't be that guy to where she's with you because you're fucking safe. It will not turn out well, because at that point she's settling. So if she does come across somebody she's actually attracted to, she's gone. So that will conclude for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. Comment down below. What are some of your stories and experiences regarding things that a woman maybe that you've dealt with has made excuses for, whether it be like meeting up or making plans. Best believe, if it doesn't matter how busy a woman's schedule is, she likes you enough, she will find time to come see you. She'll lose sleep behind you if she likes you enough. So, you know, just things like that. Give me some examples. And with that being said, guys, that is it for me. I just want to get out of here so I can enjoy this nice meal I got in front of me. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, again, at JMU, where in this class you're going to learn something new. Take care.